What's up, guys? Welcome back to Insert is episode 118, I think Matt said. Matt's usually really good about keeping track of that. We are joined today by two special guests.
Kelly from Femme Fatale Airsoft, and of course you guys know Leah.
Hello.
She's been a guest of ours several times, but this is our first time having Kelly in here. So welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think? Pretty interesting and messy set, isn't it?
Yes. It's
Does
really
it look better on YouTube than it does in person?
Yes, it definitely does. So you've got that down. You've got that spot
that's
on.
That's not
Perfect.
good. Our discussion of topic, Matt, is...
So I was wondering, because I've never had the opportunity to play in the UK, we're often asked what the differences are between American airsoft play and those abroad. And it would be very difficult for us to lend any light or shed any light on that because we haven't been outside the U.S. to play airsoft. So, from your perspective, and having played here, what have been some of the notable differences, and what are some of the things that are quintessentially British in terms of airsoft play?
Okay, so I've just written an article about this for Airsoft Action, the magazine I work for, and one of the main differences is there's not a lot of multicam here. Like, where I live, multicam is the loadout to have, but here it's kind of seen as a beginner's loadout, so there's not as much.
It makes me sad.
Does it make you sad?
It does.
Sorry.
It's one of my favorite camos.
I think that's
It's one of my
also
favourite camos as well.
California specific.
Yeah, I think it's California specific, and I also think that it was one of those things that maybe got oversaturated because one thing that a lot of airsofters here like is being unique and different. Probably one of the main things is everybody's wearing a specific camo. They maybe want to stray away from that and use something else.
Yeah. You guys have got a lot more speed softers. Speed soft isn't really a thing in the UK, so when I've come over here to play, it's been like 60% speed softers and then 40% everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
So speed soft just doesn't happen at all in the UK?
It happens, but there's like a few people and they just wear their tights and their dyes and they run around like crazy and that's it.
Interesting.
And then everyone else is a skirmisher, but then there's skirmishers who hate milsimmers and milsimmers who hate skirmishers, and then everyone hates speed softers, so I don't know.
So what's the difference between a skirmisher and a milsim player?
Skirmishers are pickup games.
Okay.
And then milsimmers are just people who play milsim.
Gotcha, okay.
That's the main difference.
Any rule set differences that you've noticed here? Is there an engagement distance in the UK that we don't follow here, or an FPS limit?
Yeah, so you guys have a higher FPS limit. It's 400 in most sites here, but in the UK it's 350 or below.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the southern sites go for 328 because we just had the Policing and Crime Act. It's been like rejigged, so now you can't. There's been restrictions on HPA and gas blowback. So I think it's anything over 1.4 joules isn't allowed. I think that's what it is. Don't take that as gospel. But
Well, I don't think anybody here is going to have to worry about breaking any of those.
no, this is very true. You guys use dead rags. We don't use those. We just put our hands up, yell hit, and then walk off.
So that kind of brings me to the next question is, how honest or dishonest are the players in the UK versus one of the biggest criticisms I think people have, especially of Californian players, is hit calling and not doing so. So is that a big problem in the UK?
It can be, depending on what sort of game it is. I think it's non-hit takers are more prevalent outside because obviously there's a bigger distance and there's less chance of you getting caught to do it. But inside there's a lot of marshals and players tend to play and marshal each other. So if you get hit, I'd be like, oh, you've been hit by the way. And they'd be like, oh, okay, bye. And then go.
And pretty good natured about it then. So not a lot of fights break out.
No, I've seen so many YouTube fight videos from the US and I haven't seen any from the UK yet.
Well,
I've seen people
They
kick
just
off.
don't post
You
them.
just have
yeah.
the thing is, I think the reason is because you guys had that hooligan stage in the 80s. You guys all
Yeah.
got it out there, and then now with airsoft, you're just so calm and chill.
Just chill.
Something that she told us that I thought was interesting too is she's been really surprised by the amount of kids that play airsoft here because in
Really?
the UK it's mainly an adult sport.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that? Do you think because of Yukara?
No, because with Yukara, so you can buy an airsoft weapon when you're 18, but it has to be two-toned. If a child wants one, their parents can buy them. They'd have to be two-toned unless they've got a defence, because you can gift it to someone and then you don't have to have a defence for it. But no, I'm not sure. There's just not many kids. There's not many kids that play CQB, that's for sure. And then they're more prevalent outside, but there's just not many kids.
Interesting. I think one other big difference I think that may exist is, especially here, you have a really big focus on capturing one's gameplay digitally, whether that be filming on your gun and filming on your helmet or whatever. Whether you upload it or not is kind of irrelevant, but lots of people like to record themselves playing. Is that something that's very popular there?
Yep.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. Almost everyone has a GoPro on. Whether they post it, it's different matter. I don't normally post mine. I just wear it just in case anyone accuses me of cheating.
Really?
That.
Interesting.
So
you could pull it up and say,
Yeah,
no,
but actually,
I don't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we should probably start the questions.
Okay.
So traditionally, our guest starts, but we have two guests, so I guess I'll let you guys Rochambeau for it. Or you can start us off since you're first.
You're the newest guest.
The newest guest.
You're the guestiest guest.
The guestiest
Yes.
guest of all guests.
Leah's practically a regular at this point. Like, she might as well just come here every Friday. Same with Jet.
And then read the name of the...
Am I allowed to read that on here? That word? I don't think I am.
I wouldn't.
No.
You can
Just bleep,
we
Yeah.
bleep on this
Magnet.
channel.
Yeah. It's the glorious magnet. Dear NSRT, in Germany, every airsoft gun with an energy above 0.5 joules is semi-auto only. Do you think that the law is not necessary, or is it possible that it makes the sport even more competitive?
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good question. I was listening for the swear word. I never heard
I
it.
am a super huge fan of semi-only.
I like semi-only as well.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like if you shoot on full auto, it's because you're having trouble hitting people. It's better. It's easier to hit people with volume than it is with accuracy. So I'm a big fan of semi. And there's usually more problems with people getting overshot when you use full auto.
Very true.
And so that's why I'm just a bigger fan of semi-only with... as long as you don't have a machine gun, then semi-only.
I mean, on the flip side, though, would you say that even though there's less issues with overshooting, there's more issues with hit calling?
With semi? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
So, like, it is kind of like a double-edged sword at that point
Yeah.
when it comes to that argument specifically. I mean, one of the cool things is that I notice, especially when it comes to, like, big milsim events. I remember when American Milsim was, like, kind of like one of the first to take it, besides other, event organizers. And what it really did at mount sites was make it so it didn't just turn into a stalemate, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened all the other time is when you had full auto allowed with no magazine limits and no ammo capacity limits or reloading on the field, people would just hold a building forever.
Yeah, if you've got the money to keep pouring BBs in,
you're carrying a backpack full of 5,000 rounds or 10,000 rounds of BBs. You can just keep shooting all day.
Yeah,
and playing against that before is really frustrating, and it's not fun for the person who's trying to take a building and getting wrecked constantly. But for the people inside the building, they think it's the most fun day of the world.
Yeah, and it's not very realistic, which is what a lot of airsoft revolves around, is some amount of realism.
Are you talking about flying around in a helicopter with a unicorn pink fast helmet? And
I don't know what
people?
you're talking about.
I actually found
You did this. I have video of it.
Yeah, it made people mad.
I don't know why. Like,
they were flipping me off from the ground, and I was like,
maybe they were just mad you shot him. I mean, last year when I hopped on the helicopter last year, like, I was already changed into like my shorts and everything, and I just borrowed some guy's M249, which is like, I would have been mad about that. I was wearing flip flops, I think.
Nice.
I think George highlighted a very key advantage to full auto, is that if you're taking full auto fire, you're really not inclined to move, and I think that is a perfect example of how full auto can be used as a suppressive advantage, and so I don't think that it's fair to limit people to only use semi-auto. I think you should have the option of using full auto. I don't think it should be encouraged, but I think that there are definite strategic advantages to using burst fire and full auto, especially with regard to movement.
I agree. When there's ammo restrictions, I think full auto's fine.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
you just have to find another way to limit its use other than outright banning it, because there are huge advantages to having it, and one of the ways that they've been able to do that is by allowing squad automatic weapons to use full auto fire, because then you get that suppressive element. As long as it's being used correctly, oftentimes we see squad gunners really not doing the support role and and covering or laying down fire suppressively. But
would you say that, I mean, just to close up this topic a little bit, when it comes to that point, I lost my train of thought for a second. So, like, would you rather have semi-auto, no engagement distance? You want to prevent injury inside buildings specifically, like close.
I think you could have both rules side by side.
But that's really tough. Like, every time we've seen that try to happen, it seems like it gets abused, or
it's definitely a nightmare for the admins,
game organizer for sure. Yeah,
we don't have engagement distances in the UK.
Yeah, that must
Even
be
with
regardless
full
of full
auto,
auto.
I'm jealous.
And you
of that.
also don't wear as much. You guys don't wear as much face protection.
No, I normally just wear like a padded half face and then shooting glasses, and I wear a helmet as well.
I noticed a lot of places don't require full seal.
No.
And you've never heard of any instance of any issues with that?
There has been a couple. There was a guy who wore a really cheap pair of shooting glasses, and it just kind of, the BB went through his there.
Well, that's his fault for
Just
wearing bad eye pro.
But there was a kid down south that decided to take his sniper rifle, load it into the safe zone, and then shoot himself in the eye with it. Like, look down the barrel, shot himself in the eye, and it took like 6 hours to get the BB out of his.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness!
No, that's
Interesting
horrible.
choice.
Okay, let's change the topic now.
Yeah.
Leah, you want to hit us with another question?
Yeah. Oh dear.
See, those are both a case of you're not able to fix stupidity.
If we had barrel covers, it might not happen.
Mr. Horseman 20. Greetings from Estonia. Why are there so few vehicles used in U.S. milsims compared to European milsims? Keep up the good work. This is kind of funny because Kelly made the same point at Uprising. Yeah. She was like, why aren't there vehicles to take everyone places?
So, okay, then elaborate based off of that instance of where you see that happening in the UK specifically. Like, what kind of vehicles are used? Mm-hmm. Are they privately owned, or are they kind of like leased, like from the military or something?
It depends on what milsim we're at. So for the Warzone milsims, we have a privately owned pickup truck with an M249 on the front, and that's for transporting people and for just lacing people. For Sterling Ops, they're all privately owned, but there's tanks, military vehicles, and they've got boats as well, which are really cool. We also use privately owned. We will.
You have boats?
Yeah, I'll send you the picture of me in a boat. Yeah, you get in the boat, gear up.
Guys, we're doing milsim all wrong.
Yeah,
you can't shoot at the boat. When you get off the boat, you can start shooting. But when I was on the boat, I was one lone person just taking a ride, and then when I got off, there was like 16 people to meet me. I did this 3 times.
So from her,
so
what she's told me is that they have vehicles to transport people like into the battle, from the battle to respawn to like, so that way you're not having to walk the whole distance.
Yeah.
And for us, we're like, oh, we want realism, so everybody has to ruck the whole thing.
Well, okay, so
and also it's just, I think our fields are larger,
yeah.
And the cost of transporting people around is probably, I don't know.
I just like riding quads.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem I think can maybe come down to, we bring our vehicle out and there's an added cost of gas. There's an added cost of, if it goes to Copperhead, there's the added cost of trailering it out and stuff like that. So maybe there's some organizers out there who I know who will comp gas or who will help pay to bring these items out. And then there's some where it's just kind of like, no, you just show up with your private vehicle, so that's tough on the game, or if it's built into the cost of the event or something like that.
And with regard to why you might see them abroad versus in the United States, I think it also has a lot to do with availability. Purchasing decommissioned military vehicles in the United States can be a difficult process.
To be street
legal, especially when it comes to armored vehicles. A lot of the stuff that we can get these days that's reasonably affordable are decommissioned Humvees. And those just, aren't going to run very well. I mean, as we've learned through the process of our Humvee, even when you get a good deal, they have reliability issues.
One more thing to that point, I think it's very expensive here just to get the vehicle from wherever it is to the event. So here...
Because of distance.
Yeah, because of distance. As Kelly's learned, like, we can travel for 10 hours and still be in the same state. Whereas in Europe, you can travel for 10 hours and go through 2 different countries if you're going through the right areas.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, too, just getting the vehicle to the event.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, well, this episode is sponsored by one of Kelly and Leah's sponsors, Enola Gay. They make, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say.
We're doing an Enola Gay giveaway because there's two sponsored players from
you
Enola
as well.
Gay.
I was just making sure. I'm pretty sure. I see you use their stuff all the time. Anyway, so please check out this obligatory advertisement. You tune in on Friday, the Friday after this video goes up. Make sure you check our Facebook page to find out what you can win from this awesome NSRT giveaway. We've got an Enola Gay t-shirt, a couple awesomeness shirts, and each of our guests has donated a patch for the cause, so you could win some really cool swag by tuning into our Facebook on Friday. Continuing along with the questions, George, you want to hit us up?
Oh, wow, it is my turn. Okay, I stare into the light, now I can't see. Drums and other stuff asks, hello, insert. I watched Jet's video and watch and take notes from his strategy he uses in-game. Wow, where is he?
That will get
Where is he?
I'm so glad he's not in the room right now.
I'm trying to use them while I'm playing with other teammates, but no one wants to listen. Is there any way I can get people to listen to me and not get overrun because of them not listening? This is gold. He's not in the room, so we can make fun of him.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You okay? You need to reset?
I'm good.
You need to reset?
I'm good.
So, Leah, then start us off.
That was fun.
Let's talk about Jet's tactics.
I mean, he does...
Or strategies, sorry.
He does have good tactics, and he does have good strategies. And that is from years and years of experience. I mean, he's been playing Airsoft for like 15 years now. Mm-hmm. So obviously he is a good person to look to in a game. Don't tell him I'm saying all these nice things about him.
He'll just watch it next week. Don't worry about it.
But he is a good person to look to. On the same hand, I do want to emphasize that just because you see something on YouTube doesn't mean that you know how to do it. I kind of wanted to say that just because I know a lot of people, for instance, watch a bunch of Travis Haley videos and then they're like, I know how to be an operator on the gun range. And it's like, no, you don't, because you haven't put them into practice. So I think watching videos is a really good idea in order to get strategy and tactics. Putting them into practice yourself individually first is a good way to go, then testing to see what works and doesn't work, and then proving yourself as being a leader, then trying to take a leadership role. You can't just jump in and be like, hey, I watched a video, now I'm gonna tell everyone what to do. That's my take on it.
I think that's a very good point, and what really resonates was that you're saying you can't just watch something and then automatically do it by just watching it.
Yeah,
you can't.
No, you can't. Like
Matt can.
Matt can. Matt is perfect. Matt is the perfect tactical strategist I've ever seen. Okay.
Nope.
Matt is the best airsoft player.
I get everyone killed.
That's not true at all. But
Kelly, what do you think?
Sorry.
No,
that's
sorry.
fine.
She just hasn't been very talkative, and I feel like our guest should provide some input.
Well, I mean, I learned to change locks on YouTube, so I think YouTube videos are pretty informative.
Okay.
But in regards to the leadership thing, I definitely think before you start trying to boss all the people around, that you have to really show that you know what you're doing. Because if I see someone trying to boss people about and they get everyone killed, I'm like, right, that guy, no. Mm-hmm. See you later.
Yeah.
Definitely has to be proved.
You do see that happen a lot on the field. People telling people what to do, but it's obvious that they don't know what they're doing. They're just repeating something that they've heard. I know what to do in a certain situation because I've played enough milsims, but people still don't listen to me because I'm not Jet. You know? And so I understand how that can be frustrating. You just have to keep doing it. You just have to keep proving yourself.
I would think that one of the most pet peeve things, and this goes well beyond before YouTube was really a thing for Airsoft, was people telling you what to do and yelling at you to do something but wouldn't do it themselves.
Yeah.
So like, hey, go rush up and take that. It's like, oh, yeah, right after you, bro. I think that's one of the cool things. Like a lot of the Airsofters that my Airsoft team is all old school Airsofters, and everybody had that, that mindset of, yeah, go rush up and do this. Or if somebody's screaming, it's to do something. It's to lead by example or to do by example. Not just sitting there going, some guy in the background just going, do this.
Yeah.
And don't say that isn't involved in airsoft, because we all know that's not true.
No, I mean, like, and that's exactly what I was going to touch on. Is let's say, for example, that you've gone through and learned from the videos, and you've put it into practice yourself, and now you want to take on a leadership role. I think all of us have kind of learned very quickly, especially when we're in charge of a group of people at an event, for example, like when we do GamePod or Airsoft Nation or any of those. It's really hard to get people to do what you want if you're not willing to lead from the front. It's all well and good to have the best strategy in the world, but if you're going to stand in the back of the field and yell at people to go do stuff, you're just not going to get anything done. You have to lead by example, and if that means that you die every single time you go out, then that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And as a leader, you have to not be afraid to get shot and put yourself out in front, because that's what people are going to look to for inspiration to get work done. And so it's all well and good to know the best strategy and to learn from Jed or Kelly or Leah or George or myself. But if you're not able to lead from the front, then you're really not going to get any benefit from what you've learned.
And don't get down if people don't like. I'm sure you've had plenty of examples where you've led by example and no one's followed you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Like how many times you're like, okay, I'm going to throw this grenade, and you're going to go in there, and then you need to throw the grenade, and then you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like,
We're all going to go through this door, or just me.
Or just me.
See, that's what happens. See, the thing is, you don't know that it doesn't work, because here's what happened: is Jet goes, all right, I'm going to go first, and you guys are going to follow me in, and no one else follows him, and he just kills everybody.
Or dies.
Or dies.
But no, he kills everyone.
We have another international question.
We're getting lucky with international.
I think you may be best equipped to answer this question. Well, I mean, we're supposed to be best equipped to answer this question.
No, I'm not qualified for this at all.
Diego Landabur asks, greetings from Chile. Do you know when the new generation of combat shirts and pants from LBX are coming out? Really like the changes they made that the users pointed out. Love your show. Keep it up.
If I want to know when stuff is coming out, I follow them on Facebook or Instagram or any of their social medias religiously to see what they're posting. And I follow everyone that works for them, because usually they have an insight before anyone else does, and they'll post it. I honestly don't know, and that's where I get most of my information. Is I just ask, or I follow stuff that I'm excited about. I follow pretty religiously, so I know everything that's going on about it. So that's my best advice, because I don't know either.
Yeah.
Like, soon, but manufacturing takes a long time, and there's kinks, and they have to do QC, and so they'll have a target date, but
when it's ready to be released, they will release it. I mean, with the airsoft industry, one thing that is very common is when something's ready to come out, it'll be here. There's no hidden agenda or anything like that. This goes for anything.
Yeah.
When it's ready to come out, it's going to come out. If it's not, this isn't like the release of the new Samsung phone like today. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's coming out today. Like, it's not like that. It's not like, oh, the LBX shirt's coming out next on May 8th,
Yeah, there's
and
not
and then there's a line out the store for the new LBX shirt. It's not really like that. So the best thing to do is to follow the social media. When they have a working sample that they feel is good enough to show people, they will show people, and
sneak peeks are the best.
Yeah, that they can. There's not as many conspiracies in airsoft as you guys think, I promise.
No,
there's only a few.
There's only a few. But apparently, it's okay. Everybody has an MBA.
I get it.
All right.
Oh, I did it again.
Kelly, would you like to wrap us up with one last question?
Okie doke.
Yeah, Ryan's like doing the rap thing.
Is that what it meant?
Cut off,
Yeah.
stop.
It's supposed to be silent. Like,
It's way too silent.
The point of me doing this is supposed to be silent.
I couldn't work out if you were telling me to look up, because I was like,
I think maybe we should have gone over hand signals.
yeah.
My mistake. It was for me, so that was directed.
This means I should keep talking.
No, this means
No,
wrap it up.
I know.
Oh.
I was making
Next time,
a
just
joke.
pretend you're wrapping a present.
Like
Wrap. And then take your finger down.
So now you're telling us to wrap it up, and we ended up just taking something and wasting an extra 35 seconds.
Sorry.
We're awesome.
Okay, Darkest Night 43. What's the main thing going through your head while playing Airsoft?
Yeah. That's literally
that, yeah.
Yeah. With some expletives thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mainly what mine is, too.
Lots of swearing, and then sometimes it's, these are grown men. That's happens a lot. Is that these are grown men yelling at each other?
Yeah, I don't think mine's good for camera.
No.
I think lots of
Bleep, 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 bleep.
yeah,
what
and they're
yours.
mainly like awful feminist things. You know, like I killed that guy.
I always
Actually,
want to,
no.
like, silently
Hold on.
high-five
He's
myself.
not here. Here's it's basically Leah's the entire time is like.
Kill Jet.
It's like it's either kill Jet or blank. Jet is being a blankety blank, or it's something involved. I'm
No,
just
it's not
kidding. I'm
always that
kidding. I'm
bad.
messing around. I'm picking on the guy because he's not here right now. I thought he was gonna like throw memes in from
Yeah.
off camera, but he didn't. He decided that his loadout on Sunday was more important.
I'm just mainly like what you said, Matt. I'm just really excited to be there. Just like yeah, this is fun.
Or it's
That's-
like repetitions of like what I need to be doing, like move, sit, shoot,
Yeah,
on
you're-
repeat.
or thinking like
Yeah, I'm
tactically
hungry,
about
I'm
what you
hungry,
should
I'm
be
hungry.
doing.
What do
Oh
you-
my god,
what do you-
Where are
don't
my
even hungry.
snacks?
So, what do you think is going through Miguel's head when he's playing?
Dude, it's literally if we could just put crickets, like it's a cricket track. He's just sitting there with crickets going.
Sad.
Yeah, yeah. Like Miguel, what should we do?
I
don't-
feel like there's way too much going
Yeah,
on.
I would
there.
think it'd be like it would be a combination of like 5 different people saying the combination of the words. This is tight, sick. I'm an operator. Something else.
Oh, movie lines.
Movie
he's
line.
caught-
Oh, right.
Movie lines are constantly going through his head. I think that's why he plays Airsoft, just so he can shout movie lines.
But that's fun to do.
That is fun. It's entertaining. And he takes, like, if you tell him to shut up, and he's like, okay.
He does have an incredible memory for movie lines.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone remember so much of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And I don't know what he's talking about, so I'm just like, what are you?
Yeah.
I don't
what
get
event
it.
was it? We're driving the Humvee and he turns around and he's just like, "They're burning tires," and we're like,
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
All right, guys. Before we wrap up, did you want to say anything else about kind of your experience here thus far, and as it would compare to what you're used to most of the year?
Yeah, so it's been really fun. I've got to shoot some real guns. It's obviously a lot warmer here, so I've been baking most of the time. I've sunburnt myself like 3 times. Just my face though, and just one half my face on one occasion. So that was fun. I've played a lot of games. It's been really fun
How do you sunburn yourself then?
because after Uprising 3 I used the
She's
seatbelt
so
as a
pasty.
little
Oh.
thingy, and my face was against the window, and it was just that part of my face. It was,
no.
yeah,
That's pretty fun.
I'm so pasty.
That's horrible, but luckily, okay.
I've been wearing
some
sun cream since.
Yeah, she does sunburn really easily.
Yeah.
All right, and with that said, if you guys want to direct them to your social medias so that they can follow you, tune into what you guys are doing, go ahead and give yourselves a plug.
Yeah,
Do you want all my social medias, like
All of
a
them.
list?
Yeah.
Okay. So the blog is femmefataleairsoft.co.uk. It can also be reached from femmefataleairsoft.com. My Instagram is femmefataleairsoft, along with my YouTube channel, and then Twitter is femfatalecal, and Facebook is femfataleairsoft blog
You
because
got all
someone
that, Chris?
stole.
That's all will be
So
in
no
the
matter what
description
platform
below.
you're on, you can find out what she's
Just
doing.
type in femfataleairsoft and it'll come up.
Everything.
Everything, just everything.
Same for me. Type in Unicorn Leah. You'll find all my medias. YouTube is probably the thing that I'm the most active on. And Instagram, the Tactical Unicorn. I've been pretty active on Instagram as far as posting stories because I think they're fun.
With the hats.
Yeah. I just like putting hats on people.
Wait, what?
They've got like filters now so you can put hats and
You know,
Are
the
they, like-
stickers. There's
Oh,
all
I thought
the
you meant like
Instagram has
actual
filters?
like mini hats.
Yeah,
filters,
I don't know how to do
stickers.
my job.
You know how to do your job very well, sir.
you do. You're very good at it.
Hey.
Matt's
All
very
right, so if you guys
Matt's
tune
having
into
a great
our Friday post on Facebook, like I said, you're going to win some cool stuff. Thank you both for joining us once again.
Thank you for having us.
When
It's
do
an
you
absolute
return
blast.
back home?
I fly on the 8th of May and get back on the 9th of May.
So has this been like a vacation or work
Holiday.
or holiday?
No one says vacation.
I
Right?
know you're right. I'm sorry.
It's been like a working holiday. So I've been blogging and playing, and then just enjoying myself. And then when
fun.
I get back to the UK, it's back to reality and back to work. Although this
there
is my
goes
full-time
gravity.
job, so it is what it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Woo!
Every time I hear
Party.
Back to Reality, I'm like,
Oop, there goes gravity.
yeah,
That movie quote.
Mom,
it's
spaghetti.
Yeah, it's Eminem.
Eminem.
Okay, I didn't get that. I'm just sat here like,
There's vomit on my sweater already.
oh,
Alright,
mom's spaghetti. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.